walking down the street just the other day when I saw a porta potty and I said, hey, let me take a little piss, let me take a little break. Then the fear of a cougar came inside my brain. But I opened the door, even though it was risky. Couldn't believe what I saw, an empty bottle of whiskey. And a fright and panic took over my soul. I knew I had to warn the people, had to let them know. Too sick to scream, I tried to muster a holler when the cougar drove by and yelled, I'm a little taller. That 96 Ford Bronco was speeding and swerving. He shouted out the window, I'm Mr. Mervin. Now you could tell that this dude wasn't sure he was a cougar, cause he verbally communicated that message to you. He was all alone, bumping chicken bone, and he laughed and moaned himself into a state of depression, judging by his expression, to a light headache and rage and pain. And Fourthmeal was on his brain, driving him insane, driving this drunk cougar mentally deranged, in a state of illusion, to the point of confusion, to the bell, the only place to escape this hell. But then a man in bed woke up from his dream, and he laughed at all the crazy things he'd seen. But he quickly screamed as he scratched his balls. There was blood and damage from his cougar paws. He then realized his existence wasn't real, but his wife existed. Yes, this he could feel. Then Mr. Mervin woke up in the driver's seat with a sigh of relief and a sigh of confusion as he gazed at his feet. They were further away than he last recalled, that he was 40% sure they were cougar paws. Yo, his mind was racing, man, I thought this wasn't real. Then he heard a voice as he grabbed the wheel. May I take your order? My name is Bill. He said, yeah.
Give me that Fourthmeal. Give me that Fourthmeal. Give me that Fourthmeal.
A stroll down a street, an encounter with a porta potty, and the sudden fear of a cougar. Sounds like an ordinary day, right? Wrong. Because when you open the door to that porta potty, what you find is not what you expect. An empty bottle of whiskey. A sudden rush of panic floods your senses. A cougar, and not just any cougar, a drunk cougar, is on the loose. Feeling sickened, the shout for help barely escapes your throat, but then the unexpected happens. A 96 Ford Bronco whizzes by, and from the driver's seat, the cougar yells out, I'm a little taller, I'm Mr. Mervin. Now, before you judge, remember, this is no ordinary cougar. This is a cougar who can talk. A cougar who drives a Bronco. A cougar who goes by the name Mr. Mervin. Mr. Mervin, the drunk driving cougar, finds himself spiraling into a pit of despair. His laughter turns into moans, his joy into sorrow. He's filled with a strange craving, a craving for Fourthmeal at Taco Bell. It gnaws at him, driving him to the brink of madness. His mind starts playing tricks on him. The world around him blurs into a confusing haze. But just when things seem to be at their worst, something miraculous happens. A man wakes up in his bed laughing. It was all a dream, or was it? As he scratches his genitalia, he screams out in pain. Blood, damage, cougar paws. He looks around. His wife is there, her existence tangible, but he's not so sure anymore. Meanwhile, Mr. Mervin, the drunk cougar man, finds himself back in the driver's seat of his trusty 96 Bronco. He breathes a sigh of relief, but the relief is short-lived. He looks down at his feet. They seem farther away than before. He's not entirely sure, but he thinks his feet look suspiciously like cougar paws. His mind races. He grips the steering wheel as a voice rings out, May I take your order? My name is Bill. Mr. Mervin, the drunk cougar man, replies in the only way he knows how. He breaks out into a song, singing his order for Fourthmeal. And so ends the tale of the drunk cougar man, Mr. Mervin. A tale as confusing as it is intriguing. A tale that leaves you questioning, was it all just a dream, or is there really a cougar out there driving a 96 Bronco, craving Fourthmeal at Taco Bell?